Hi, guys. My name is Alia Manraj, and I'm a senior at Park Center High School. And it's a privilege for me to stand before you today and share a bit of my personal breaking through story. One marked by a painful past, an amazing present, and a very bright future. My friends and Genesys Works classmates know me for the smile that's constantly on my face. Yeah, it's a smile that shows the happiness I feel, but it's also helped to mask much of the pain I've felt growing up. If there's one thing I remember seeing as a child, it had to be a red and white can that looked a lot like soda to me. I always wondered what it was, but I never knew. All I knew is that we weren't allowed to taste it, it made Mom sad, and Dad used to get really angry when he drank these. Every day, I'd see Dad drink so many of them, and I was always wondering why he acted so funny. At times, he'd stumble and fall, and other times, he wouldn't even get up. We'd often hear or feel thumps and slaps. I remember cops too, and a lot of them. Very often, Dad would have to go into the back of the cop cars with these silver things that looked a lot like bracelets to me. As I grew older, things seemed to get worse. Dad didn't change much, but I did. I was angry at the world. I was filled with hate to the bones. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I hated the truth, and I hated my dad for putting us through this. In the past, I would always make excuses for my dad's being abusive. Maybe if I wasn't so loud, he wouldn't have gotten so mad, or maybe if I did my homework on time, he wouldn't have hit me. But with time, I knew. It was never me. It was just Dad's way of dealing with his resentments. Throughout dealing with my dad's addiction, I developed some pretty bad habits of my own, whether it's skipping class, not doing my homework, not studying for tests, getting involved with the wrong friends, or just walking out of class. I did it all. It didn't take much for me to fall behind on my credits, and soon enough, I was placed into an advisory that would help me get back on track to graduate on time. My advisor, Heather Miller-Sink, used to tell me continuously, I can be your best friend, or I can be your worst enemy. And at first, I thought, okay, she's just trying to scare me into doing my work. But with time, I knew that she was here for us. And if we weren't willing to follow the rules she laid out, she wasn't gonna hesitate to get us in line. As time passed, Miss Miller-Sink and I became very close. We talked about school, work, and my home life a lot. It was really, really nice to have somebody that was actually there to listen for once and not judge me. As I began to get back on track to graduate, Miss Miller-Sink was actually the one that introduced me to Genesys Works. Miss Miller-Sink, I can't thank you enough for helping me so much, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been standing here today speaking to all of these wonderful people. Genesys Works has played a huge role in my life. It has taught me so many different skills and so many different ways to be the ideal young professional that businesses are looking for. Because of Genesys, I've turned my life around. I went from being this small girl that's so mad at the world to this girl who gets a 5 out of 5 for attitude because she's so pleasant to be around. Thank you. I owe a big thank you to Crystal Stackhouse, my coordinator. Crystal is the main reason I broke through, and I'm so thankful for everything she has taught me. And now, in my new internship at Target Corporation, I'm surrounded by an amazing team. They're so fun and loving and respectful, and they just show me what it's like to be a young professional in the corporate world. Life is amazing, and I feel so blessed to have all these opportunities. And while I look ahead to finishing high school, I really have my mind set on a double major for criminal psychology and social work. Thanks. I look at this bright future, and I know I haven't arrived here alone. If there are a few people I would definitely be lost without, it'd have to be my mom, her best friend Carol DeSavi, my siblings Aleem, Annie, and Arifa, and Kemraj. I love you guys. They've been here for me to guide me through thick and thin. You know, they've just been here through everything, pushing me in all the right directions. But believe it or not, the person most responsible for me being who I am today is my dad. Dad, if it wasn't for your lack of smiling and affection, I wouldn't have grown to be this positive, fun, and loving girl that everyone wants to be around. If it wasn't for your lack of understanding, I wouldn't have grown to be as insightful as I am today. Dad, if you never made me feel so broken, inside and out, I never would have had the urge to stand so strong and proud today. For a lot of my life, my dad has showed me all the right things in all the wrong ways. But I can't end my story there. My dad is working to be whole again. Dad, you're amazing. You're working so hard to finally forgive and forget. You're becoming more peaceful, wise, loving, and caring with every new day that you wake up to. The fact that you're actually working on your resentments shows that you want more out of life. So thank you for trying, and thank you for showing us that no matter who you are or where you come from or what you've been through, it's never too late to start a new beginning, and it's never too late to change for the better. And a special thank you to all of you here today for not only allowing me to share my personal breaking through story, but for all that you have done to support me and my fellow Genesys Works classmates. Thank you so much. We're most grateful.